Man, what is going on? What is going on? We are back in black in the building. Shout out to everybody handling business, doing what they do need to do to survive. Man, I'm trying to position this mic. Man, shout out to everybody at the Core Plantation. You know what I'm saying? Handling your business. It's your boy Warren G in the place to be. Been Clowns Like a Free since 2003. Ain't no finessing me. Man, I gotta send a shout out to the sister Erica, Florida in the building. The homie Shawnee and her family, Philly in the building. My brother David from No Compromise, Georgia in the building. James Youngblood, Texas in the building. Man, shout out to everybody out there in Arizona. Tanya, Latanya, hey, everybody out there. Shout out to Vegas. Shout out to my Vegas people, all my siblings, everybody out there in Vegas. Shout out to homegirl Jerica in Vegas as well. Shout out to her. Shout out to my sister in North Carolina, a.k.a. North Kakalaka. Melina, shout out to her. She's definitely in the building. Man, what is going on, man? We got a great topic, a quick one. The collapsed bridge, man. The Baltimore Bridge, man. We're going to try to find some audio on that. So while we talking, man, we're going to try to find some audio on that so y'all can see what has happened. So that's my thing, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if we can find some video of that. Let's see if we can find something.
As NTSB investigators continue to look at...
Hold on. But we appreciate everybody listening. Subscribe. You already know what it is, man. Man, we about to have a great time today, man, and get it in. Let's get it. And let me do this so we can play this. Here we go.
What happened? What went wrong? We're getting a look at the moments leading up to that catastrophic collision. Fox 10's Troy Hayden breaks down the video frame by frame.
So some interesting things to see if you really break down this tape. It's a pretty amazing video that was taken when this terrible accident happened. So go ahead and take this full screen if you would. You can see the ship. I'm going to back it up just here. Look to the left part of your screen. You can see the ship coming in, and there are definitely lights on at the ship right here. You would think the ship had power at this point, and then all of a sudden the lights go off. The ship from this forward, I'm speeding it up for you here, does not appear to be steering at all. And there's one interesting thing I want you to look at, and that's right here. This, I believe, is right in the area where the exhaust from the ship's engines would come out. You don't see any exhaust coming out at all. So the ship, again, light, then dark, and it does not appear to be steering. So now let's fast forward a little bit, and we'll go to this next piece of video. So here we go. The ship's lights are out. All of a sudden, they turn back on. So out, on, and then again, look right here. So here's that smokestack in that area. I'm going to get rid of that. Put it forward. Now look, all of a sudden, you start seeing exhaust or smoke coming out of that smokestack. Is this the point where the engines got turned back on or fired back up again? So again, lights off, lights on, exhaust coming out of the top of the ship, and it looks like the ship is really trying to steer here, especially the tail end of the ship is kind of going out and trying to steer around that bridge.
And man, let's see. Hold on, let's see. Because they got the timeline, but we want the news. Let's see if we can find something. All right, let's see what we can find. If the news is going to report it. Hold on. All right, no, they're not going to do it. So let's see what we could find. Let's see if any news. We're just gonna see really fast. Let's see if CNN wants to talk about it. If not, no video. You notice they're not talking about it no more. Let's see. Oh man. Here, let's go. Let's see. We'll see if they...
This isn't Charmin. No wonder I don't feel as clean.
Hurry up.
No, we're not going to play that. But we're going to see if they're going to play any type of news. We don't need nobody breaking it down. We already know what the fuck happened. Motherfucker wasn't paying attention on the goddamn ship and crashed into the damn bridge. And we're going to break down the etymology of the name of the bridge. See, they call it the Baltimore Bridge, but we know it as the Francis Scott Keys Bridge. And everybody who's familiar with Francis Scott Keys, we gonna make you familiar today. So we gonna get this in. We're just trying to see what they gonna say on the news because they're not saying nothing.
Victims here, some of whom may have actually saved lives.
Yeah, we're learning a lot. I mean, look, several of these individuals, these 6 construction workers that have been missing and presumed dead in the river, they had lived in Maryland for a long time. They were residents, family members. We've learned about 38-year-old Maynor Yasir Suazo Sandoval, for example. He is an immigrant from Honduras. He's been a U.S. resident now for the past 18 years, a married father of 2 with an 18-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter. His brother told CNN, describing him as this beloved figure in the family. We've also learned about Miguel Luna, a father of 3 from El Salvador. He had lived in Maryland.
Y'all notice what they talking about, right?
For more than 19 years, John, and we expect more of these stories to come out in the hours ahead. And you can feel the heartbreak from the family members, some of the local organizations, friends that knew these individuals and are grieving today as this recovery effort continues and this investigation gets underway.
Now, y'all heard that and y'all know what they getting at. So y'all better understand here. Let's see if anybody else has anything to say, because you know they don't really be putting it on the news. They just want to, let's see. Okay, yeah, they got a commercial going, but y'all notice what they was talking about, immigrants. And let me tell you something. U.S. citizens, United States of America Incorporated, Foundation of Black Americans, don't be going and traveling to these other countries. You don't know what's going on.
You know, those 2 men that were pulled from the river today were 2 of the 6 construction workers that they were searching for. We now know that they are still searching for 4 more people.
This is not a conclusion. It's a continuation. And we take this phase just as seriously and just as personally.
But as I'm going to tell you again, look, fair warning to Foundation of Black Americans and people that United States of America Incorporated, don't be traveling to these other states. I mean, not states, but these other countries thinking that it's all good and it's all gravy. It is not gravy, it's all gravity. And let me tell you what's going to happen. That could happen to us in another state, and in another country, and they ain't going to give a fuck. You better be mindful when you're traveling to these other countries and just thinking it's sweet, because you notice all of them were immigrants. And guess what? The bridge collapsed. And I believe they knew that bridge was going to collapse. I believe they knew that ship was going to crash into that damn fucking bridge. And I believe that bridge needed to be repaired in the first place. You notice they're not talking about it.
As we took the last phase.
Recovery efforts in the Key Bridge collapse now transitioning into a salvage operation. Maryland State Police say this comes after 2 of the 6 missing construction workers were found trapped in a red pickup truck around 10 o'clock this morning, about 25 feet deep in the Patapsco River.
The victims were identified as Alejandro Hernandez Fuentes, 35 years old, of Baltimore, and Dorlian Ranial Castillo Cabrera, 26 years old, of Dundalk.
Superintendent of Maryland State Police Colonel Butler says there's still 4 victims left to recover and the vehicles they were using. But divers had to stop in water searching around 4 o'clock today, saying at this point those vehicles are too dangerous for divers to access.
We have exhausted all search efforts in the areas around this wreckage, and based on sonar scans, we firmly believe that the vehicles are encased in the superstructure and concrete that we tragically saw come down.
We've also learned from MDOT that one of the 2 people rescued yesterday was an inspector working for the state.
One of the survivors who I had the opportunity to speak with, one of the things he mentioned to me was as he was moving off of the bridge and literally saw the bridge fall right after he moved off, it was because it was a first responder who was telling him to move off of the bridge.
Now, MDSP says after the salvage operation, that's when they will send divers back in, hopefully to bring some closure to these families. And I do want to point out the families of the two victims today were notified in person by state police before that press conference happened. Live tonight in Dundalk, I'm Tori Yorgi, WBAL TV 11 News.
All right, we can cut the music back on. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. First of all, you notice it was immigrants. Let me tell you something. Foundational Black Americans and people in general, when you are traveling to these other countries, do not have an arrogance about yourself. That is not your country. That is not your homeland. You don't just be traveling willy-nilly and thinking that everything is sweet. The reason why I'm saying this is immigrants, you come here and you think life is sweet. And let me tell y'all something. Let me speak to the immigrants. It ain't sweet the way you think it is when you come to the United States of America Incorporated. People think that is so sweet when you come over here. And see, a lot of the times these things happen because immigrants come to the United States of America and start talking crazy about foundational Black Americans, that we lazy, we this, we that. But this is our homeland. We built this for free. Let me break it down, David, James, Youngblood. Y'all tell me. Everybody listen, Shani, anybody from Vegas, tell me. This land is a sacred land. And when you be playing with it, you're going to have a problem. And all these immigrants and all these people that come to the United States of America for unearned benefits and do disgusting, vile things. I'm not talking about the immigrants that come here and just want to make a better living for themselves and want to stay out the way. I'm talking about immigrants that are very arrogant about themselves and treat foundational Black Americans like shit. The ancestors are not playing. Let me break it down. Warren, what the fuck you talking about, man? Ancestors and all this other shit. Let's break it down. First of all, that bridge, the Francis Scott Keys Bridge. Francis Scott Keys is an anti-Black white supremacist who believed that Black folk were put here to serve and be slaves to the dominant society. That's what his belief system was. And he owned many slaves. See, this is what the dominant society do. They hold their white supremacists in high regards. J. Edgar Hoover, the J. Edgar Hoover FBI building. The Francis Scott Keys Bridge, of course. So if they would name a bridge after this man, do you not think that the ancestors won't conjure up ancestral energy to prove a point? You don't fuck with foundational Black Americans, and this land is sacred. Believe what I'm telling you. Y'all think I'm fucking playing? You don't fuck with our land and come over here and allow other people to come over here and reap the benefits of foundational Black Americans' blood, sweat, and tears and play with the energy of the ancestors and don't think the ancestors are going to speak. You don't name a bridge after a white supremacist and then think people going to cross that bridge every day and not think that the ancestral energy is going to come back and come and rise up and say, you know what, man, we tired of y'all playing games with our people. It is very sad what happened to those people that lost their lives. But shame on the dominant society. Shame on the dominant society. Because you frame this narrative as if, hey, come on, immigrants, come on over. It's the land of milk and honey. Because you do that to get them to replace us within this system of racism and white supremacy. Here's what y'all forgot. We built this system from scratch. And don't you ever forget it. And we need to understand this. It is an attack on foundational Black Americans, from the P. Diddy's to the Marcellus Wileys to the Cuba Gooding Jr.'s. So we have to really, really wake up and understand when y'all traveling overseas, pay attention, be on your square, and don't get comfortable. And to all my immigrant brothers and sisters, when you're traveling to the United States of America and you come here with love. Come here humble if you're going to come here. Don't come here with arrogance. Because I'm telling you right now, that ancestral energy is real and you cannot play with it. See, that's the thing about foundational Black Americans. We don't go out of our way to fuck over people. We don't go out of our way to rub it in the dominant society's face who we are. But the dominant society goes out of their way to let us know every chance they get, don't they? The Francis Scott Keys Bridge. Why would you name that after him? And he was a well-known white supremacist. Because you can. You did it because you could. And then when we call upon the ancestors to take care of it, you're putting other people in harm's way. So shame on the dominant society for allowing other racial groups to come here for unearned benefits and not give foundational Black Americans their just due in what we are owed in the United States of America Incorporated for building this country for free without repayment and acting like you don't owe us anything when you know that you do. So I'm telling you right now, it's time to wake up. Because it is happening. When I saw that bridge collapse, I said, please, that ship crashed into that bridge on purpose. I don't care what nobody say. You don't just lose power like that. That's very unusual. I don't know about Admiralty Maritime Law, but I know that they're going to do a heavy investigation and lie. And now y'all can't find other people. Oh my God, the water's too deep and I'll stop. Stop. It's 2024. Technology is way too far advanced for you to not find people in that water. Stop. Y'all don't want to keep looking because y'all are embarrassed. The dominant society sometimes becomes embarrassed about things that they know shouldn't be seen or said or can't be controlled. So y'all got to wake up and have a different understanding of what's going on. You see all this stuff going on. You see what they doing to Puff Daddy. You see what they doing. Look, man, I'm going to always have love for my foundational Black Americans, but we have to understand this. Stop being up under the tutelage of the dominant society and then not learning from them. Don't be up under their tutelage and then don't learn. Be up under them so you can learn. What did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach us? Study the white man. So if he said to study them. That don't mean be like them. Just study them. Now, P. Diddy is our brother, but goddamn, don't be like the oppressor. You want to be better than the oppressor so you can pave a way for your people. We have to learn to start working together and don't do the four-wall effect. If we can't come together and love and move on and walk in your path, we don't need to come together. Because it's called the four-wall effect. It's coming together to complain and argue and fight and fuss. And anybody that knows, I'm not going to argue with you, man. I'm too old for that shit now. We're not going to argue. We're not going to go back and forth. We are going to move forward. Sometimes you got to move aside to move ahead. And I'm telling you right now, don't play with this land. Have a Native American, no. The dominant society has taught you something that's not valuable and tangible. The dominant society has went out of their way to be like, oh, well, the Native Americans were here first. Right, but why is this land our land? Because we was here way before everybody else. There's too many white scholars, Black scholars, that have done research, British scholars that's like, no, these Black folk been here forever. So we didn't just bring them here from Africa. They was already fucking here. So this is sacred land. And this is our land. You know that song, this land is your land. This land is my land. No. This is not their land. This is foundational Black American land. I want you to say that proud when you think about it. No. We built this land for free without repayment. We cultivated the land. You better go read Columbus's diaries. He told on himself. He said, man, we couldn't cultivate the land. We couldn't get no food. We started eating each other. We had to get with the Moors, man. When we got the Moors, they showed us how to cultivate the land so we can have food and crops. So I don't want to hear that shit. Notice how they're not talking about it. Ain't nobody brung up Francis Scott Keys. Wasn't he a racist? Why did y'all name that bridge after him? Because they want you to feel like it is normal. It is not normal to name anything after a white supremacist. Do you see the dominant society, Jewish community, allowing you to name anything after any anti-Semitic person? I think not. Go do your research. Go check out the bridge. Check out everything that was going on. to date, no foundational Black Americans have lost their life on that bridge. I want you to really sit back and think about that. Wow, no foundational Black Americans. Some immigrants. That's sad. Why is that? Because the dominant society has framed this picture in the minds and hearts of our immigrant brothers and sisters that you could just come over here and be arrogant and sassy and tell us what the fuck we supposed to be doing. And that's what happens when you do that, because I would never go to Mexico or Guatemala or any of those countries and wag my finger in Guatemalans and Mexican faces and tell them they're lazy. I wouldn't do that because I'm smarter than the average. So it's time for our immigrant brothers and sisters to start giving us props too, because you're here for unearned benefits. That is sad what happened to those immigrant brothers and sisters who lost their life on that bridge. I blame the dominant society. And one day, our immigrant brothers and sisters are going to be like, you know what? Foundational Black Americans, man, they right. You know, they work hard. They're the most accepting people on this planet. And we have a tendency to listen to the dominant society and not really listen to our hearts and our minds and give the respect and reverence to foundational Black Americans for building this country for free, not fleeing, but standing and fighting and not going to another country and settling. Remember that. I am done. Guilty, nigga. Peace.